This movie has creepy atmosphere, good imagery, and one really stupid problem. Welcome to Creepin' It Real. Thanks for joining me. I'm Judah. We're talking about the 2025 Mudborn. This is a Netflix horror film. At its core, it's a pretty standard haunted house possession thing. We have a video game development team that is creating this immersive VR horror game. And what they're doing is they're taking 3D images, full scans from locations that are supposedly tied to mysterious events or hauntings. Now, while they're scanning this one location where this sculptor mysteriously disappears, they release an evil spirit, and one of the developers takes one of these clay figurines with him. Now from there, it turns into the main character trying to save his wife and unborn child from this evil spirit, and his wife becomes possessed at that point. Now, I've always liked the imagery tied to Asian mysticism, talismans, rituals, cursed objects. That stuff just works for me. And Mudborn leans heavy into that atmosphere. Even though we've seen versions of this story several times before, the imagery still feels creepy. But this movie also keeps trying to insert like new things like technology to help make it feel different. And honestly, I don't feel that it works all that great. I mean, I can get behind the setup of this team going to scan this location for their VR game, and that part makes sense. The sculpture gets taken to this main character's home. That all works for me. The problem is that this movie keeps trying to make technology feel like it's deeper and more important than it actually is, and it feels a little forced. So now we get to that really stupid portion of the movie that I talked about in my intro. This clay figure has a talisman painted on the back of it that keeps the evil spirit sealed in it. And earlier in the movie, this clay figure gets damaged and it breaks this talisman. Now they need the talisman to reseal the evil spirit in it, but they don't know what the full talisman looks like because it's missing a portion. Except the entire reason they went to that house in the first place was to get a detailed 3D scan of the whole home and the objects inside of it. So the movie waits until basically the ending, and then it's like, oh wait, maybe we should check that scan that, we did at the beginning of the movie. Maybe we can find out, what that talisman was, instead of waiting through this whole movie. And I get how some of you could possibly be like, hey, you know what? That's a massive nitpick. It doesn't make any sense for you to be complaining about that. This dude was under stress. He didn't know what to do. He was facing this problem the best way he knew how. But for me, when it happened, I was just like, okay, that was just too convenient. The timing was just too convenient. He goes through all this crap. We're getting to this buildup to where there's this time limit, and the spirit is going to completely take control of his wife unless they get this situation taken care of within this time limit. And then suddenly he remembers, oh yeah, the scan. It was too convenient to the build up of this movie, and it just felt stupid to me. I think this movie would have been stronger had they stopped trying to inject this whole new angle so hard. If they would have just focused on the creepy supernatural stuff, I think this movie would have worked way better instead of randomly inserting this whole VR angle to make it feel like it was different. But it's a solid movie, to watch on streaming for sure. I give it a 5 out of 10. And if you have Netflix, I would say give it a try. Now, before I go, I want to know from you, what horror movie were you totally sold on until that one stupid thing happened, and then you were just like, nah, I'm out. It just ruined everything for you. Now, granted, this one thing did not, I may have been speaking a little more hyperbole than I should have been. It didn't totally ruin it, but I did get a massive, really? Really? It was too convenient. Too convenient. Now, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, you're a champion. You get a gold star. Please like, subscribe, and share. It does help a lot. I've got over 2,000 subscribers. I'm really appreciative to all of you, but I do like doing this to engage with you in the comments. So if you have something to say, even if it's to say, I disagree with you, this movie is great, or your takes on movies are just so boring. You talk so slow, it makes me want to drive into oncoming traffic. I have been told that before. You can leave that comment. The honest truth is YouTube is probably going to block it, and I'm not going to be able to make it visible to anybody, but you can definitely let your feelings be known, and that's totally fine. Thanks again. I'm Judah. This has been Creepin' It Real, and I'll talk to you later.